Hi Cancer. Welcome to your mid-November horoscope. My tardiness has led to the middle of the month, but alas, I must apologise. Mercury was in retrograde and I'm using that as the most basic excuse in the world because it was in my sign. For you guys, Mercury was retrograding in the sector for you that rules children. It rules, the moon. It rules love, it rules children, it rules fun and creativity. To have it retrograding means you need to revise these areas. Oh, the moon. As a Cancer, you're ruled by the moon, and I think it's particularly interesting to note that in astrology, Cancerians so affected by the moon oftentimes need to be very, very, very aware that during a full moon or during a new moon, you have very strong powers of manifestation and great ability to change, but you also have great ability to be led by your emotions. You're being very led by your emotions as we move into Sagittarian season. And I think for a lot of you, it could be causing some damage in terms of your communication, even though Mercury's gone direct. I think it may have taught you, this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio saga, that the way that you speak to your mother or your children, if you are a mother or a father, the way you speak to your children is coming off as having a direct effect on their behavior that is kind of troubling you. It's almost as if for some of you they've picked up swearing, or you can see your habits coming through in them. If this does not apply, I think for those of you that are not dealing with children, I think romantically speaking, Cancer, you could have a choice of two, but you may also be finding that people during the Mercury retrograde saga just quite simply weren't who they said they were. And you're starting to see a little bit of treachery there. For others of you that are in relationships, I feel that some of you are feeling a little bit left out in the cold by your partner's hobbies, your partner's travel, your partner's career. It's temporary. It's very temporary. But with the Seven of Swords here, you need to be honest about your needs. You need to be honest about what it is that you want from this person, because I think somebody could get a little complacent and possibly a little bit selfish. As we're now moving into Sagittarian season, you've got a lot of focus on habits and you've got a lot of focus on your work, and it feels a little bit, Cancer, like people are discussing you and they're discussing your work. Whether that's a good thing or not depends on your work ethic, but you would do well to find at least one supportive individual that can lead you through the thick of a rather confusing work situation. Your intuition is strong. Your communication has not been. That is something to work on. And if you're dealing with a Justice and the Six of Cups, dealing with family and dealing with the people that you spend most of your time with, you need to be very, very fair. Because I think, Cancer, you might be hurting some people's feelings, or they may be questioning your loyalty in certain areas. And you would, again, as I said last month, do well to stay away from drama, but to make the fact that you care quite clear. With romance, with family, with clients, with friends, whatever it is, make the fact that you care quite clear. For some Cancers, there is somebody from the past that wants a lot of attention. Somebody from the past that wants to reach out, wants to speak, wants to communicate. And I don't think they have an ulterior motive. Five of Cups and the Eight of Wands. You need to keep your focus very much in Sagittarian season because Sagittarians are so optimistic and so bright. You need to keep your eye on what is going well, and that is what will make things take off when they need to. There is a sense here with Mars being in Scorpio, which is giving such a wonderful fun energy. You're going to want to have fun, you're going to want to socialize, but you need to be very careful, Cancer, as I say, about how you are treating the people in your life. And that's not to say you'd be doing anything on purpose, but I think you're kind of busy. And I also think, as you focus on your work and things, because you will, Sagittarian season, as we lead into December, is always one of the busiest times of the year for Cancerians. The run up to Christmas is busy for everyone, but for you guys, it focuses on your work specifically. And that new moon is going to generate with it some circumstances that just make you feel like a bit tetchy. Because Mars and Uranus are doing this opposition. Mars in your sector of romance and children, and Uranus being, of course, in your communication sector. Tell a lie, it's in your 11th house. It's mostly to do with how the people that you interact with, your social aspect. So to have these kind of a bit of tension in both areas, Cancer, as I say, make time for your spouse. If they're not making time for you, tell them to. I get the impression they're kind of head in the clouds at the minute, whoever it is that you're dealing with. With Venus being in Sagittarius, a lot of the time, you notice your own habits romantically, and you notice the habits of the person you're with. Start a goal together. Exercise with somebody. Cook with somebody. Sixth house arena. Very, very, very good for pulling people closer together. And I think you need to be nurturing and reconnecting in your relationships, Cancer, or else you're going to feel really sad. You need to focus on the people in your life that you have, not the people that have abandoned you, or not the people that are not here. I get there's a bit of heaviness surrounding people that aren't here. I don't know. It could pull you down at some point this month. You need to be very, very, very clear about who you have in your life. And let them know how much you do care. Because that's when you're at your best. Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. Nurturing yourself, looking after yourself, looking after your finances, looking after the people you care most about. That is when everything starts to grow. There's a beautiful, beautiful energy between Venus and Jupiter, and they're both occurring in your work sector. So particularly for those of you that are involved in Venus style careers, you know, music and beauty and money and those different types of things can aspect so well under this energy. And it's occurring on the 24th of November. And I think, Cancer, you could really make some beautiful new connections. You just have to be willing to feel them out. There could be some rather treacherous energies have implemented themselves with Mercury and Scorpio in retrograde. So now that it's direct, you can still see the aspects of this. And I think with the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, particularly if you're dealing with fire signs or air signs, be kind of wary. I think in the run-up to the full moon in Gemini, which is, of course, occurring in your sector of secrets, and we'll get more into that into December, but I think a lot of secrets are going to come out about people in your life. And yes, I'm saying nurture your relationships and be very clear from that. You can only benefit that way. You cannot let someone gaslight you into thinking that because you don't do things their way, you're wrong or you're a bad person. But you must also be warm and be sweet so that when questions come around, you can say you did everything right. And also, you must not, in the run-up to the full moon in Gemini, be too suspicious of everyone. Everything reveals itself. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be loving and nurturing in the way that you were born to be. And if it's to do with children and they're acting up and being temperamental, you would do well to listen to your intuition. You know what that is. And if it's to do with a parent, you know what that is. Your intuition is always so strong. And Neptune goes direct on the 27th, giving everyone this kind of wake up out of a dream state. And everything becomes clear and you know what you're operating with. Focus on what you know, be it career, be it in your, familiar circumstances, the people you spend the most time with. Stick with what you know, stick with what you do best, and you will prosper. Don't be taken in by what is too shiny and new in terms of people, because things are revealing themselves. It'll be interesting as we go into December to see how Jupiter in your sector of partnerships and marriage and contracts brings you a wonderful set of experiences and promises that will make you feel incredibly connected to something greater than what you see. Six of Cups and Justice is all about soulmates. And I think for a lot of you, there could be, particularly if it's a Pisces. But we also have the fire signs, we have the other water signs, we have the air signs, and we'll get into the earth signs in the extended if you're dealing with one of those. It'll be interesting to delve a little deeper into this, Cancer, but December is right around the corner. Looking forward to the December reading and horoscope. Keep focusing on what you know best. Things are working out better than planned. You just need to make sure that you know who's in your corner. And you're not focusing your energies to the wrong things. Because it will all come out. And you can only be but sweet and kind and nurturing of the people that you know best. And that is what is going to allow for the soulmates to come in, for the balance to be restored, for the money to flow again. All you have to do is be very, very, very much your unaffected self. And I will see you in the extended if you're joining me there, and if not, I will see you in December. Bye, Cancer.